what happens when a routine takeoff under a perfect sky turns into an unimaginable fiery nightmare in mere seconds. Could a seemingly minor maintenance shortcut seal the fate of hundreds of innocent lives and expose a deadly flaw in one of the world's largest airliners? Today we will confront the chilling story of American Airlines Flight 191, a tragedy that cost 373 lives, but ultimately paved the way for the ironclad safety we trust in today. Get ready. Chicago O'Hare International Airport, Friday, May the 25th, 1979. A warm, clear afternoon, bright with the promise of a Memorial Day weekend. American Airlines Flight 191, a majestic McDonnell Douglas DC-10 wide-body jet, stood ready. On board were 271 passengers and 202 crew members, their hopes set on a routine flight to Los Angeles. Families, business travelers, vacationers, all trusting in the routine, the technology, the pilot's skill. What they couldn't know, what no one could foresee, was that in less than a minute, their journey, their lives, would end in a cataclysmic inferno. At precisely 3:04 p.m., the colossal DC-10 thundered down runway 32 right. The takeoff roll was powerful, textbook perfect. Then, as the aircraft reached rotation speed, just as the nose began to lift off the tarmac, something went terribly, incomprehensibly wrong. A chilling roar, not of power, but of tearing metal, ripped through the air. Witnesses on the ground and in other aircraft watched in sheer horror as the left engine, engine number 1, along with its entire pylon structure, VIOLENTLY, detached from the wing. It didn't just fall, it ripped, soared upwards, tumbling end over end, then plummeted back onto the runway, trailing a plume of smoke and fire. Inside the cockpit, Captain Walter Lux, First Officer James Dillard, and Flight Engineer Alfred Udovich immediately knew they had a catastrophic engine failure. Alarms blared, warning lights flashed. They had lost power on their number 1 engine, but the true insidious damage inflicted by that departing engine was unseen, unknown. As it tore away, it severed crucial hydraulic lines, the very lifelines of the aircraft's control systems. Even worse, it destroyed the hydraulic actuating system for the leading edge slats on the left wing. Without these slats extended, that wing tragically lost significant lift. The massive jet, already climbing, began to bank sharply to the left. The pilots, fighting the controls with superhuman effort, tried desperately to correct the roll, but the damaged wing, starved of lift, was beyond their command. The stall warning blared. The aircraft, now climbing at a steep 25-degree nose-up attitude but rapidly losing airspeed, rolled a full 90 degrees, then inverted. For an agonizing 31 seconds, Flight 191 defied physics, a dying behemoth suspended briefly before plunging earthward. It slammed into an open field adjacent to a trailer park and a hangar, erupting into a colossal fireball that sent a mushroom cloud of black smoke thousands of feet into the sky. The impact was absolute. All 271 people on board perished instantly. On the ground, 2 more lives were tragically claimed, and 2 others were severely injured. The scene was one of unimaginable devastation. The sheer scale of the loss sent a profound shockwave across the United States and the entire world. How could such a mighty aircraft on a clear day simply fall from the sky? The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, immediately launched its most intensive investigation to date. The wreckage was scattered over a wide area, burnt, twisted, and fragmented. Every piece, no matter how small, became a clue. The vital black boxes, the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, were recovered, their data meticulously analyzed. These silent witnesses confirmed the engine loss, the hydraulic failure, and the crew's desperate losing battle. But the critical question remained, why did the engine detach? The NTSB's focus honed in on the number one pylon. What they discovered was horrifying. They found evidence of fatigue cracks in the pylon's structure. The cracks weren't from manufacturing defects, they were caused by improper maintenance procedures. It was revealed that some maintenance crews, including American Airlines, had adopted an unauthorized shortcut. Instead of following the manufacturer's complex, multi-step procedure to remove the engine and pylon separately, they were removing the entire engine pylon assembly as a single unit using a forklift. This shortcut, intended to save 200 man-hours of work, placed excessive, undesigned stress on a critical point in the pylon. Each time this shortcut was used, microscopic, undetectable cracks were introduced, growing silently with every flight until that fateful day. The bolts failed. The engine, with its pylon, simply snapped off. The revelation ignited public panic and a deep crisis of confidence in the DC-10. The entire global fleet of DC-10s was immediately grounded by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, for weeks, a never-before-seen safety measure that paralyzed air travel worldwide. Every single DC-10 had to undergo rigorous, exhaustive inspections. The lessons learned from American Airlines Flight 191 were not just profound, they were transformative. This horrific crash directly led to revolutionary maintenance protocol overhaul. The industry abandoned all unsafe shortcuts. Strict adherence to manufacturer guidelines became paramount, with no deviations tolerated. Enhanced non-destructive testing, NDT. New, highly sophisticated technologies were developed and mandated for detecting even microscopic cracks and fatigue in critical structural components, far beyond previous capabilities. Improved design and certification standards. Aircraft manufacturers were forced to reassess how engines were attached to wings, implementing more robust designs and ensuring greater hydraulic redundancy and fail-safe mechanisms for critical systems, so that no single point of failure could lead to such a catastrophic loss of control. Increased regulatory scrutiny. Aviation authorities intensified their oversight of airline maintenance operations. A deeper safety culture. The crash cemented the aviation industry's unwavering commitment to learning from every single mistake, no matter the cost, to prevent future tragedies. American Airlines Flight 191 remains a dark, painful chapter in aviation history, a stark reminder of the immense human cost when safety is compromised. Yet, from its ashes rose a renewed, ironclad commitment to safety, forging the incredibly secure skies we fly today. Every single life lost on that dreadful day ultimately contributed to the advancements that protect millions of passengers every single day. What specific safety lesson from Flight 191 do you find most impactful, most crucial? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're dedicated to understanding aviation's tireless pursuit of safety, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the Aviation Archives for more insights into the science and history of flight. The legacy of Flight 191 is a solemn promise that from the depths of tragedy, we learn, we adapt, and we make the skies safer forever.